Hey everybody, welcome to the Leek. I'm John as always, and it's time for the weekly Magic Update for April 2nd, 2017. This week was not officially spoiler week for Amonkhet, but basically all of the news was spoilers for Amonkhet. As a result, I don't have that much to talk about. I in fact have a single thing to talk about, and that is going to be the Amonkhet Invocations. Now, if you missed it, I'm not sure where you've been, but Invocations are the Masterpiece collection for Amonkhet block. So in Amonkhet and Hour of Devastation, you have a 1 in 144 chance of opening one of these super rare cards. And yes, since Battle for Zendikar, I've opened nearly 400 boosters. In fact, I'm going to say it's probably over 400 boosters now, and I have opened 0 of these masterpieces. Anyways, these are these super fancy cards. Back in Battle for Zendikar, we had lands. All of the masterpieces were lands. In Kaladesh, we had inventions. All of the masterpieces were artifacts. This set, we have stuff. There's no exact theme, and they have said previously, back when they announced masterpieces were going to happen, that some of them wouldn't have super cohesive themes. They wouldn't all be X or Y theme. In this case, it's stuff. You know, there's a vague sort of disruption theme. They're all kind of things that Nicol Bolas would do, but there's much looser theme, and that's fine. They told us this a while ago that it was going to happen. As of today, we are currently missing only a few invocations, and it has been confirmed that these missing invocations are going to be the 5 gods of Kaladesh. In addition to those 5 gods of Kaladesh, we have a whole smattering of instants and sorceries and enchantments, many of which are absolute staples in Modern, in Legacy, in Vintage even, and a bunch of Commandery stuff as well. The biggest news, of course, is they look different. They look different than the previous Masterpiece series. They look different than Magic cards. They look different than many things entirely. And this broke the internet. The internet is PO'd. They are angry. I have never seen, well, that's absolutely a lie. I've never seen in the past couple of weeks this level of anger from the Magic community. Magic, as many people are concerned, is going to die because a subset of super rare cards looks different. Now, if you've followed me for any amount of time, you know that I hate hyperbole. I hate the way that Magic players see something and within seconds are decrying the death of the game, and this is the worst thing ever, and actual human beings' livelihoods at Wizards should be ended. They should be fired because a piece of cardboard looks a little bit different. Above all else, a lot of the hyperbole and stuff that has been said is ridiculous. Absolutely ridiculous. Magic players are not game designers. They are not art directors. Not many of them anyways. Decisions will happen that people will disagree with, and that is fine. That is fine. People should not be fired because a card doesn't look the way that you don't like it. So stop. Anyways, I'm going to address anyways, in my opinion, a few of the big things that I've seen said about these invocations. Big thing number 1 is, how will I know what this card is? I can't read the title. Yes, the titles are a little bit hard to read, and yes, that was by design. They wanted you to think for the split second that it's some weird foreign language, when in fact it is actually English, just in a really interesting looking font. How will you know what this card is when you draw it from your deck? Well, you put it in your deck. In fact, you sought out a very rare version of a card and paid a premium for it. You know what that card is. You willingly put that in your deck. You are not going to be confused what that card is, and if you are, then you have more money than you have short-term memory. So come on, you're gonna know what card it is if you draw it. What about, how will I know what this card is when my opponent plays it, or I see it in their hand because I thought sees them? Ask them. As a judge, please communicate while playing Magic. I know some of the pros think it's cool to say not a single word to their opponent and not even look at them. That's a jerk move. That is massively lacking in social etiquette, and as a judge, massively lacking in something that a game of Magic needs, and that is clear communication. If you're going to play a Wrath of God, I don't care if it's in fancy Egyptian letters with a different border or if it's white bordered or black bordered. Say, I play Wrath of God. And then everybody knows what Wrath of God is. So please just communicate with your opponent. But these have new art. How will I know that over on my opponent's side is an enchantment that I should know what it is, but it's a different piece of art? How will I ever know? all Magic cards have new art when they're first published, and many reprints have new art when they're first published. The trick is, art doesn't forever stay one day old. You aren't always seeing art for the first time. After a couple of experiences with this art, you will know that that is a Vindicate. You will know that that is a Wrath of God. You will know that that is an Aggravated Assault. You will know through repeated experience. Yes, it's new art. Yes, you don't recognize it. Yes, after a short period of time, you will learn to recognize it. But let's cycle back to they're impossible to read. They're impossible to read. How do I know what this crazy stuff says? Well, A, the text box is crystal clear to read. That text is perfectly clear, and all of these cards are iconic enough that by reading the rules text, you're going to know what card it is. But it's impossible to read the title. You know what's impossible to read? The Elish Norn Phyrexian promo written in a fake language that nobody knows how to read. This card is massively popular and worth over $500. And it's literally impossible to read. More to the point, people love Russian cards and Korean cards and Japanese cards who don't know a single letter of that language, and they'll play them. And for them, it's literally impossible. These cards are not literally impossible to read. In fact, the rules text is crystal clear, so come on, it's not a big deal. But it's different. It doesn't look like a Magic card. That's a valid complaint. That is 100% a valid complaint. But it is purely a taste thing. If you don't like it because it's different, cool. That's great. You can dislike these cards because they're different. Don't make up a whole bunch of other excuses because you don't want to just say you don't like a change, but you don't like it's different. Say that's why you don't like it. Valid thing, but purely taste. The final thing is that the art is smaller. I agree. It's not enough for me to get angry or upset about. I would love to see the art a little bit bigger. Yes, the art is smaller. Yes, I don't like that. No, it doesn't make me want to fire Mark Rosewater, who was not involved in this. It doesn't make me want to fire an entire department of Wizards of the Coast. It makes me say, I wish the art was bigger. That's all it does. Now, I will go as far as to say that I actually like these cards. I like that they look different. I like that when I open... I say when, I really need to say if I open, because I think that streak is just going to continue. If I open one of these cards, I want to go, whoa, this is different. This feels special. This looks really cool. I love that Wizards is trying new things. New things are great. If the game stays stale, if they just reprint alpha and beta for 25 years, the game dies. End of story. Do I want these cards to look like this every single set? No. Do I want them in an Egyptian-themed set? Certainly. The final thing that I will say is thank you to everybody being hyperbolic and having these knee-jerk reactions and demanding firings and saying the game is going to die, because that gives me amazing material for my follow-up 10 other times that Magic was totally, utterly going to die video. But that's going to wrap it up for this weekly Magic news update. But there was no Magic news. There was just a rant about Amonkhet Invocations, and more importantly, a rant about the Magic community as a whole. Let me know what you think of the Invocations. Let me see that hate mail. Let me see those, hey, give me some death threats. Why not? Let me see that all down in the well, don't give me death threats. I will report you to YouTube and remove you from the channel. But yeah, let me know in the comments below what you think of Invocations. Do you agree with me? Do you disagree with me? Let me know down below. As always, if you have any questions, comments, or suggestions, you can find me on Twitter at TheManaLeek. That's L-E-E-K, like the vegetable, not the card. You can also find me at Facebook.com/TheManaLeek, Twitch.tv/TheManaLeek, and Patreon.com/TheManaLeek if you want to become a backer there. I have gotten 5 or 6 new backers in the past week. Huge thank you to the new backers. Huge thank you to the old backers. I have some backers who are from the first month that I put up Patreon still there. That's amazing to see. If you do ever hit that $60 lifetime milestone, you get yourself a playmat. There are Mana Leak playmats here in Canada. There's one in Illinois, I think I'd sent it to, and Oklahoma, and there's one in Poland even. There are Mana Leak playmats around the world, so if you want to get your hands on one of those, check out the Patreon. As always, if you have any questions, comments, or suggestions, let me know. Otherwise, I'll see y'all tomorrow for this first spoiler recap of the official Amonkhet spoiler week.